This is Audible Grown with Paul Brunel and Stephen Carroll, the pop culture podcast covering sports, movies, and everything in between. Enjoy the show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 9 of Audible Grown. This is part 2 of our stay-at-home special. And I'd like to start off this podcast by saying, go on the Patriots Facebook page and watch the pinned video clip of Bill Belichick. He is completely 1,000% not the guy he is when he's recording press conferences.
Amazing what being at home will do.
It's amazing. It's so great. So, Steve, how about we kick this off with the reveal of the football schedule for 2020?
And we hope you guys haven't forgotten who we are.
No, we're still here.
We're still here.
And I'm assuming this is going to be our last stay-at-home special. If all looks well, maybe by next month we'll be able to go back in Craig's garage.
Yes.
And that is where he has his amazing studio where we record the podcast. Good friend of ours. And we will kick this off here. We are starting the season off with the Dolphins on September 13th.
The Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. Do you think that they're gonna? Do you feel like they're gonna beat us again? Quite frankly, kind of how they a repeat of last year.
Where the game is it?
The game is at home.
I don't see them beating us at home.
No.
Early in the season.
Yeah, that's fair. We go to Seahawks. That is an away game on September 20th. The Raiders on September 27th. And then we face Kansas City, the Super Bowl champions.
That's a loss.
On October 4th.
I don't care where they play that game. I think that's a loss.
You think it's a loss? Denver Broncos on October 11th. San Fran on October 25th.
Welcome back, Jimmy G on that one.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Bills on the 1st and Jets on the 9th. Those are both away games, and then we are facing the Ravens. Can we beat the Ravens in our little round 2 here after last year's game?
Sitting here on May 7th, I don't think so, but we got some time before then, so a lot can change in all that time.
Just over 6 months.
Yeah.
We got the Texans on November 22nd, the Cardinals on the 29th. When's the last time we faced the Cardinals?
4 years ago, maybe?
It's been a while. And the Chargers, which ESPN just predicted would go, 5-11?
Yes.
Dang.
That is a real thing.
That's crazy. I don't know. I feel like they're going to do better than that.
I saw them at 9-7.
Yeah. And then the newly minted Los Angeles Rams on December 10th.
You mean, yeah.
Yep. Followed by the Dolphins again, round 2. The Bills on December 28th. And we're closing out the season with what should be an easy win. I said that with the Dolphins, though. The Jets.
Those games at the end of the season really worry me. Because of what we saw last year with the Dolphins.
Yeah, and we're kind of getting some conflicting reports on, I feel like there's not a lot of clarity on who the starting quarterback is.
No.
The way Belichick was sounding about Stidham was, he's a rookie. He's going into his 3rd year,
Yeah.
I have a feeling he's going to start Brian Hoyer.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
All the sports experts on TV and stuff are talking like it's gonna be Stidham. So I don't think we really know till training camp starts.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. And then real quick, the preseason games are in this order: the Lions, the Panthers, the Eagles, and the Giants. We can get the Eagles right out of the way.
Now all this can change based on what happened with the pandemic, but as of now, the NFL treating it like business as usual. So
yeah.
Hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, it's gonna kind of be that's the NFL right now is kind of the sport that's like trying their best to retain that sense of normalcy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I'd say hockey is the sport that's trying to come back the most vigorously.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, how do you feel about what they're doing?
I like the proposal. I just hope that it's in the cards and circumstances work it out
Yeah.
to where they can come back.
Yeah. Do you feel like so far we're looking good?
Yeah, I keep monitoring it day by day, but the most recent stuff I heard, it's still a go.
Yeah. And that would be great just to give the Stanley Cup to somebody.
For real.
For real, yeah. And then having the season start in November.
Yeah, but isn't that drastic of a change when you really think of it? I mean, you're only pushing this season back by a month.
Yeah, not a long time.
Like, it's not a big difference.
I guess it feels like I guess it's like, you know, where we're going to be as a country come the fall, and whether or not we would see this kind of pop up again or if it would die out, and I guess they'll make a decision. But my question is, I can't really see the NFL starting in a full arenas right away.
No.
Will they eventually start to let arenas have people in the season, or do you think they'll just wait till the next season and play it safe?
I would wait till the next season and play it safe.
Or at least have a goal of like having people at the Super
Because
Bowl.
if you do it too soon and you have a spike in the number of cases, then we gotta go all the way back to the beginning, possibly.
Yeah, I hope not. I feel like, and hopefully by that point, you know, we're at a point in society where we're starting to build more immunity and work on a vaccine is progressing. And if we get a second wave, it's much more manageable and not as bad as this one. So we'll see what happens there. But I feel like that's kind of a good lead into kind of what's been going on with the movies. Right now, Christopher Nolan wants his movie to be the first movie people go to on July 17th when movies reopen.
Yes.
And they're making a decision within this next week on whether or not they're going to delay it, even though Christopher Nolan really wants this movie to be that first movie.
A Quiet Place.
No, Tenet.
Tenet?
Yeah, Christopher Nolan.
Okay.
From the director of the Batman trilogy, the newest
Oh,
one.
yeah.
And that's kind of a test for studios to see, like, are people going to go back to the theater or are they going to wait a while? Because what they just said today is that they don't want to waste millions of dollars on an ad campaign just to have to delay the movie.
Smart.
You know what I mean? And a lot of studios are looking at this movie to see, is my movie going to do well? Because if I don't see people going to see his movie, they're not going to see my movie.
Hey, if someone gotta take that first step back out, and I admire Christopher Nolan for wanting to be that guy.
Kind of like the guinea pig a little bit.
Yeah.
And they might push it back. I don't know. I mean, SpongeBob's still scheduled for the first week of August. Wonder Woman's scheduled for August 13th.
Yeah.
So little by little, they're going to start getting back to the movies.
Yeah, and we got months and months before then. So if you open theaters in like a month or two, if there's a spike, they can shut it back down again.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing is that they would almost not want to taste reopening just to close. So I feel like if they really feel like there's too much of a risk to open in July, they're going to push it back a little bit. But we'll have to see what the announcement is in a couple of weeks, in a week or so.
Yeah.
It's coming close. The new Scooby-Doo movie is going straight to VOD, just like Trolls did.
VOD.
Video on demand. And so a lot of studios are deciding to put their smaller movies right into your hands right away.
Yeah.
And you made an interesting point about how SpongeBob wouldn't be as special if it came right into houses.
I mean, to us, growing up as massive SpongeBob fans, even still to this day, being massive SpongeBob fan, like, to us it wouldn't be the same
No, it'll be fun to see it in
if
theaters.
it goes straight to VOD.
Yeah, it's so bright and colorful and on a giant screen, you know what I mean? It's like the perfect summer movie.
And you got the surround sound and
And who doesn't want to see the lost city of Atlantic City on the big screen?
yeah.
So right now that's still coming to theaters. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, but if it comes straight to VOD, we'll still
We'll still watch it.
watch it
Same day.
the day it comes out.
And you can count on our review
Yeah,
on Audible Grown
yeah.
to see how that's going to be. But the good news is drive-in movie theaters are opening. I think the one in North Smithfield wants to open in just like a week.
It's a step back to normalcy.
So yeah, so if you're in the Rhode Island area and you want to see a movie, the Rustic Drive-In will be opening soon.
And if you're
Hopefully.
not in Rhode Island, I would assume you would just be able to go on the internet and see when your local drive-in might be opening.
Yeah, we'll see. There's another drive-in in Westerly near Amesquamaket Beach, right in southern Rhode Island. That's opening. They're showing Jaws on the beach,
Nice.
and they sold out. And then they announced the second showtime the next day, and then they sold out right away.
Nice.
So people are clearly dying to go back to the movies.
And I can't say I blame them.
I'm very excited.
We're two of the biggest movie people there are, so
Yeah, I mean, like we both literally our last movies were the same movie.
yes.
So
And we did not even go together.
yeah, and I guess my question for everyone who's listening is, and I asked this on my Facebook page, but what are your movie plans? Do you want to go back right away? Because here's the thing, right? Here's what movie theaters are going to do. They're going to start implementing some serious cleaning methods to make people feel safe. Mm-hmm. And what's that going to include? That's going to include like hand sanitizers at every entrance and exit, so that touchless, so that you put your hand under it. Mm-hmm. That's going to include concessions. Probably not having concessions for a while because people touching food. That's going to include social distancing, so having about 2 or 3 seats between people. That's going to include limiting capacity to maybe 50% in each room, so you can have social distancing. That's going to include rigorous cleaning procedures in the bathrooms and in the rooms before and after each showing.
Right.
Do you feel, with all those measures in place, do you think that's enough for you to feel safe, or for the people to feel safe?
I mean, like, if it's gonna be this whole process just to go see a movie, is it really worth it? Like,
Yes.
it,
For me. 'Cause I'm a big guy. I'm a movie guy.
I agree with you. To me, it's worth it, but
To like the general public.
you know the people out there who
Yeah.
will be like, if I'm gonna have to go through all that just to go see a movie, is it really worth it?
Yeah, and again, it's understandable. If you decide to stay home, that's totally okay.
Yeah.
You know, you have the right to go out when you feel safe.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's kind of that's kind of going to be the test. You know, and they're going to want to make sure. You know, they're going to want to let people know. Don't worry, you can come to our theater. You know what I mean? And the interesting thing is, if there's only 1 or 2 movies playing, that's literally, you're going to have like 1 or 2 options in every single room. Will be able to play that movie. So for Christopher Nolan to open with Tenet in July, every screen will be playing that one movie.
Right.
So like the box office might not be as big as it could be but when you have such limited options, people really have no choice as to what movie they're gonna see.
Hey.
So they're gonna say, let's go see Christopher Nolan's movie.
And we've been without movie there for so long.
Almost 2 months now.
That I feel like people would almost go and see anything.
Yeah.
They could put like a silent movie on.
Yeah, people go watch it, yeah.
Go,
Yeah, and then again, like going back to the Rustic Drive-In, they can't play new movies right now, so they're gonna be probably playing classics.
yeah,
You know, like imagine going to the Rustic to see the original Star Wars or something.
that'd be amazing.
You know.
Or seeing like Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah, which is what they were going to do in China.
Yeah.
And as far as like drive-ins go, what they were saying is their plan is to have reserved seating, so they pick where you park.
Okay.
So they're gonna have space between each car and maybe cut the capacity, and they might not do concessions, which is fine because I don't feel like spending $13 for a hot dog anyway.
Right.
But I have a confession to make. I've never been to a drive-in. I don't know if you have.
I have, but it's been a real long time for me.
Do you remember what you saw?
Yeah, I remember way back I saw Finding Nemo.
At the drive-in?
Going way back.
Was that at the Rustic? Probably was, right? Because that was the only one.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. Wow.
And my mom just gave me a nod.
It was the Rustic. Wow. I've never been. That place has been around for a while. And it's like, man, like drive-ins aren't what they used to be like in the 50s where like everyone would go in their, Chevrolet and pop a blanket out on the hood and sit out with their girlfriend and watch a movie. But the interesting thing is that this is kind of like setting up for a cultural comeback for drive-ins.
Yeah.
Because people are going to want to go out, and what safer way than to see a movie in a car with people you've been living with anyway.
Yeah.
Not worrying about have to be with other people who might have it. Like you'll feel safe. So I feel like drive-ins are gonna like be as packed as possible for a long time.
Revive the drive-in business.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I'm excited to see what they're gonna choose to play.
Yeah.
So that'll be great. So that's movies. Very interesting conversation there as far as like, and I'll point out real quick too is, like Universal Studios was making it clear that they want to release a lot more movies straight to video on demand. And the owner of AMC, Adam Aron, who's the biggest theater chain in the United States, said, if you don't respect the theatrical experience, we're not going to show your movies at all. Ever.
What does he mean by that?
So, in other words, because the theater owners don't want movies to go right home.
Yeah.
They want the movies to go to them.
That makes sense.
So Universal's saying half our movies aren't even going to go to the theaters anymore. Only the big ones will. Well, they're saying, well, we're not going to show your movies at all then, because we need business.
Yeah.
And then Regal Cinema is the second biggest chain, said the same thing. So there's actually like a little bit of a war going on.
Yeah, that's not good.
Very interesting to see how that'll pan out.
Yeah.
I unfortunately kind of moving on. I don't know if you want to touch on. I know you're very excited about Taylor Swift, but the good news is that that's been rescheduled.
Yes.
As far as people obviously aren't gathering in venues right now.
I was bummed, but then I saw a post on Facebook that she posted herself, and it said she postponed it. So
not canceled.
As soon as I saw the word postpone, I'm like, okay, it's not completely canceled. I'm still gonna get to go eventually, just not when I was supposed to go.
And that would be what, summer of 2021 maybe? By the time like it's fully safe to have a fully packed Gillette Stadium.
Yeah. So it might be a whole year after I was supposed to go, but because I was supposed to go on August 1st, it may be early August in 2021 by the time that happened. So
yeah, wow.
But they're gonna.
That'll be worth it though. Worth the wait. I mean,
honor the ticket. So
yeah, be worth the wait for sure.
But if you want refund, they'll give you refund. But I ain't getting a refund.
No. No. Hold on to that ticket.
I'm going to that show.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Hold on to that ticket. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great comeback.
Yeah.
That's another interesting conversation. Is like what bands are going to be the first bands to play live, and how many people will go?
I don't think it matters what band or what singer are the first to go live. I think people will be so appreciative just to be able to go back out again that people will go.
Yeah.
Even if they do like a limited capacity, like, people will go.
Yeah. Yeah, people, and they could also do like, I could see them, live. Sometimes they choose to live stream their concerts. Sometimes they choose to, you see concert DVDs and videos or things like that. So I can see them making special exceptions where they're like, if you can't make it, we're going to broadcast the show for you.
Yeah.
Streaming on YouTube, or YouTube does live concerts sometimes. So, like, can you imagine, like, say Green Day decides to reopen their tour, and say they have to reschedule dates, and some of the fans that couldn't go could maybe watch it on YouTube, which is it's not as good as going. No, but I can see those kind of creative solutions happening.
It's something.
Imagine
getting to see a live Green Day concert for free on YouTube.
Live, yeah. Good
live.
Stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's the second best option.
It wouldn't matter if I wasn't there.
No, it would still be good.
Yeah.
So my question for you, my co-host, is how do you feel about the current state of WWE and their announcement of having Money in the Bank actually be filmed at headquarters?
It's very, very intriguing because
maybe give us like a rundown. This is perfect for you.
I don't know if I mentioned WrestleMania and how they film 2 matches like they were movies. But they're doing it that way with Money in the Bank matches. They're doing it at WWE headquarters. They're putting a ring with the briefcases hanging on top of the roof of WWE headquarters. And the way the matches are gonna work, they're gonna start from the bottom of the building and fight their way up the building.
That's gonna be very interesting, and you can we'll definitely talk about that on episode 10.
And what's even cooler about it, they filmed both the men and the women Money in the Bank that simultaneously.
Yeah, very cool. And again, they have a chance to make it it's going to be definitely heavily produced,
So
but it's going to be really cool.
They're going to be cutting back and forth between the men and the women in between the live matches from the Performance Center.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
So
yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be really cool I think it's a really clever idea.
Yeah.
I will say, I think it's a bit of a pipe dream that Vince McMahon expects to have arenas filled next month. Apparently they want to start having live shows with people there in a month. I don't think that's going to happen.
It's a huge pipe dream.
I don't.
And I know Florida's been really lenient with their handling
very lenient.
But I don't see even Florida allowing fans into arenas.
Now, could they allow a limited number of fans into the Performance Center?
They could, but you would have to pay to be able to test every one of the fans.
Do you think in a month's time they would be in a point where they could at least have like half of the Performance Center be filled with fans?
And what are you gonna do? Because you gotta charge the fans, and then how much are you gonna charge them? And then let's say a fan buys a ticket, but they have a little bit of a cough. are you all of a sudden not gonna
Yeah.
let them in after they paid for the
money.
ticket?
Well, that's the thing, right? Here's the interesting thing. And this is what Disney's doing. When Disney's opening, Disney in China is opening this month. Disney is opening in June. The parks.
Okay.
What they're doing is, one of the things they're doing is they're taking the temperature of every person at entrance.
Yeah.
And if your temperature is over 100.4, you'll be asked to turn around and go home.
Yeah.
But what about the asymptomatic people? They won't have a fever and they'll still be spreading it. So I feel like,
Right.
Even having people at the performance center, someone could have coronavirus and have 0 symptoms and give it to someone who would have symptoms. And that's, you know what I mean? So I feel like, man, Vince is going to have to make a decision. Like, this is coming to a point where, like, will the TV networks want to step in? Will Fox be like, listen, we're buying this from you. We're going to do it our way now. Like, Vince.
I think the TV network at some point are gonna step in and buy the WWE eventually, and if Vince keeps trending the way it's trending, I think that might happen.
Well, I mean, this is
sooner rather than later.
I mean, this is the guy who, like, blames ratings on lack of Brock Lesnar and new talent.
Don't even get me started on this whole
Oh, please do.
Roman Reigns
Please
saga,
do. No, go ahead.
because this is absurd.
Explain to our audience.
Even non-wrestling fans, you know who Roman Reigns is, because the past few years he's been like the face of the entire company. He's like this era's John Cena. But for those of you that don't know his extended story, the short version is a year ago, or just over a year ago, he was diagnosed with leukemia. And we were actually at that show when he announced he had it. That was in Providence.
Yeah, that was a moment.
We were in the crowd for that one. So he comes back after a year, but maybe it wasn't a year. I got the timeline a little messed up, but it was a good amount of time. And I don't know whether it was right before he came back or when he came back that it came out that he had battled leukemia once before. So it comes back and this whole coronavirus pandemic thing starts to happen, and he pulls out of WrestleMania for his own health and safety. And basically WWE is angry at him that he pulled out, and they're basically exiling him from the company now.
That's crazy. I can't believe it. I mean, I guess we don't have the whole picture, but like, it sounds like he's worried about his health because, God forbid, someone with leukemia catches the coronavirus. Someone with a weakened immune system.
Immune system already compromised.
Yeah, so imagine, like, you could die. You could actually die.
Yeah.
And Vince McMahon is so mad at him about this thing. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. But then you hear about the stories where, like, people don't even want to approach Vince McMahon recently because he's so grumpy about the XFL, which I understand. But, you know,
I mean,
I don't know, man.
it's to the
Not exactly the best public image to have.
to the point where they're cutting out Roman Reigns out of like DVDs and stuff.
Jeez.
They cut Roman Reigns out of WrestleMania 31, and he was in the main event of that.
Crazy.
Like,
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's still, they're kind of like scrubbing his name from everything.
yeah. And you know as well as I do, Paul, he's been their poster boy for like 3 years.
Yep. I'll read a quote from Roman Reigns on this whole situation. He spoke about it. This was a day ago.
I did not know this.
He says, "You don't know the whole story. All you know is what you think. Oh well, his health and this and that. But you don't know what else is going on in my life. You don't know if I have newborns. You don't know if I have family in my household, older family. So yeah, like the old saying goes, go and flip that cover open and read a few pages." So in other words, he says some things are more important, and I had to make a choice for me and my family.
And he made the right one.
Yep.
But WWE is handling this whole situation all wrong.
They say, given WWE's apparent gag order on Reigns, there appears to be friction between the two sides. Though protecting an immunocompromised superstar during the spread of a global pandemic seems like a no-brainer, this reportedly was not a decision made on WWE's behalf, but rather one that had to come from Reigns himself. So it makes it sound like Vince wasn't giving him an option.
Yeah. But you gave everyone else an option.
It's crazy.
And a side note, like, nobody said to Vince he had to pull the plug on the XFL. Yeah, they had to cancel the season because of the pandemic, but nobody said he had to shut the league down. That was his choice.
And then Andrew Luck sued him.
Oliver
Luck, sorry. Andrew Luck. Oliver Luck, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, sued him.
But, and the thing about that is, apparently, according to what you read, the whole reason Oliver Luck sued him in the first place is because Vince didn't tell Oliver Luck ahead of time that he was shutting down the league.
Which is crazy. Like, how can you not give the commissioner time to get ready? That doesn't make any sense.
Like, Oliver Luck found out the same time all the players and coaches did.
That's crazy. The commissioner
Yeah.
found out. That's like if they decided to shut down the NFL and Roger Goodell just found out when it happened.
So I don't blame Oliver Luck for being upset about that.
Crazy. Man.
But that's just a side note on
Bigger issue.
a bigger issue.
Honestly, if I were Roman Reigns, I don't know if I'd want to come back after the response.
No, go to AEW.
Yeah, go somewhere where they're going to like take care of you and not yell at you for protecting your family. It doesn't make any sense to me. I guess greed is a powerful thing.
During a global pandemic.
Greed is a powerful thing, my friend. Yeah, it's crazy. Well,
should we get into some more positive territory? Maybe all the Star Wars news coming out of May the 4th.
Yeah, they just announced that. So if you haven't heard, Taika Waititi, director of Thor Ragnarok and the Mandalorian season finale, he also directed Jojo Rabbit.
Yes.
Him and I'm going to find out who the screenwriter is, but she wrote 1917. Oh. They're teaming up to make a Star Wars movie.
Oh.
I called my brother and told him, and he's like, man, That's crazy.
I hear the angel singing already.
Man, I'm going to see. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can get a little surprise on this episode here.
But they have all this new Star Wars content on Disney Plus as well.
Oh, it's crazy. You know what I'm going to do? I've never done this before. We're going to try to have a guest on here. I got to see my brother's response to this news.
All right. A live guest.
Our first ever. Let's see how this works.
New
We're kind of experimenting.
territory.
Hey, Isaac, how are you?
Good, Paul. How are you?
Good. So you are live on Audible Grown. We're deciding to have a guest. We want to get a little clip from you, if that's okay.
Oh, sounds great.
We're recording. Give us your reaction to the news that Taika Waititi is directing a Star Wars movie.
I think that is some of the best news I've heard in a long time.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I'm seriously super excited. He's an unbelievable director. I think he's going to kill it.
Yeah, and the writer is the writer of 1917. Remember how that was?
Oh, man, that seriously was one of the best movies I've seen in my life. So them pairing up together, it's going to be unstoppable.
It's going to be insane.
Yes, I can't wait.
Yeah, and then I guess real quick while we still have you, so there's the news broke the other day that Hayden Christensen is in talks to return as Anakin for the Obi-Wan series, if you guys haven't heard about that.
I'm thrilled about that.
Yeah, but my brother is a huge prequel fan. You know, Revenge of the Sith is honestly, it's an incredible film. But what do you think about Hayden returning?
Let me correct myself what I said before.
Okay.
Hayden returning is the best news I've heard
Yeah.
all year.
Yeah.
All year. I mean, like you said, I'm a huge prequels fan. So, yeah, I was born in 2002, so that's what I grew up with.
Yeah.
And Revenge of the Sith was the movie. So, you know, seeing Hayden play Anakin was unbelievable. And actually being able to see him return, now that I'm older and I can understand it more, is just, I literally don't even have words.
It's gonna be unbelievable. I'm so excited.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, like seeing possibly Maul and Vader and Anakin and Ewan McGregor,
Qui-Gon.
Yep.
Qui-Gon live action again.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be worth the wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. That was Isaac. Thought I'd have a little bit of a guest on here. Isaac, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you,
Yeah, I appreciate you
Ivan.
having me.
All right, have a good night.
All right, see you guys.
Bye. So yeah, what do you think about this?
We-
A lot of good stuff.
We hope you enjoyed Audible Grown First live guest.
I think that went very, very well.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm very excited about that. So yeah, Hayden might be back. They're still working on the Rogue One prequel series about Cassian Andor.
Nice.
The Clone Wars just concluded its historic run with the series finale.
Final episodes.
Yep, that just got done 6 days ago. The Rise of Skywalker is on Disney Plus, so now you
Yeah.
can watch every Star Wars movie in order.
I will have to do that.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's
And
awesome.
the coolest thing behind the scenes documentary all about the making
Yeah.
of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, why don't you tell? I didn't see it yet. You said it was good though.
So the first episode is all about the directing of the show. So they sit down at a round table, basically, with all the directors and John Favreau, and they tell stories about their backgrounds and the stories behind the episode that they do,
Yeah,
and it's really
that sounds amazing.
cool.
And it's like an 8-part series, so we're getting a new
Yeah.
episode tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. A lot of good news from the Star Wars world, especially after, a lot of people didn't like Rise of Skywalker, a lot of people didn't like The Last Jedi. But I think the future of Star Wars is bright.
I don't know why people didn't like Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, it's
I love that movie. That
Yeah.
movie was such a journey.
it was fun. I had a great time. That
was.
scene, and it's May, so I think we don't have to be afraid of spoiling it for people. But
Yeah.
but the scene where all hope is lost, and you hear Lando Calrissian's voice saying, "You still got us," and the whole fleet of ships come in.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, the whole theater just like cheers, you know. It's like that moment. It's like that Endgame level moment where Cap gets the hammer, you know.
And then like, Kylo Ren comes.
Tyler Ren.
Help.
Tyler Ren.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. Tyler Ren was his that was his emo phase.
Yeah.
It's not a phase, Mom. No,
Sorry, Adam Driver.
I thought you said Tyler Ren. I'm
I
sorry.
apologize.
Kylo Ren. Yeah. So what were you saying?
But when he comes in to help Ray at the end and
Oh yeah, fantastic.
basically give him
Yep.
self-help.
Yep. I know. I saw people leave the theater when they kissed because they thought that was just so corny.
Oh, come
But
on.
what are you gonna do? They kind of tease that in the Last
Yeah,
Jedi. They have this connection. So how about I feel like we could end with two things. Number one, for the first time in my life, as a PlayStation fanboy, I am forced to give Xbox credit.
Yes. And you could tell by my tone of voice
Yeah.
that I'm begrudging for yes.
But what do you think about our first look at next gen?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I hate to use a cliche, but I'm gonna. It's out of this world.
Yeah, it's something else, I tell you.
Like,
Yeah.
like every game that we saw a trailer for today, every one of them was better than the last one.
Oh, it was great. Like they had this event where they revealed first look at next gen gameplay. They had a new little teaser for Assassin's Creed, but we had our look at some next gen games. And even at the very beginning, those first games, the improvement is kind of marginal.
Yeah.
But just seeing even a little bit of what next gen could look like. Like, you remember that game, the shooter, where he's playing in the storm?
yeah.
It just, the whole thing, it just looks so good.
The fragments of the storm on the camera and
Yeah, it was beautiful. A lot more lighting effects, more particle effects. You know, you can have a lot going on at screen at the one time. The lighting, it's just beautiful.
even the little piece of Madden
Madden 21
gameplay
at like 2 seconds.
we got, you could see the blades of grass
Yes.
under Patrick Mahomes' feet.
It was
It was beautiful.
And look, that like 5 second clip was, and that whole introduction where they started at the beginning and they had that music. You said to yourself, like, it gave you chills.
Yeah, because
It was awesome.
I've been playing Madden games since 2002, so I have a lot invested in the franchise, and for that video to essentially go like through the years of Madden at the beginning, it just brought back so many memories.
Yeah, man, like playing it here in front of you on PS4 in October or November is going to be something else.
I can't wait.
I said PS4, I meant PS5. My
Yeah.
goodness, we're really moving ahead.
Yes.
So yeah, Xbox kind of had that one up on PlayStation at showing the next gen. But PlayStation is rumored, I say, to have a reveal event on June 2nd. So we'll definitely talk
They
about that.
are gonna have something.
Yeah, we'll see what the console looks like. You know, there's the thing about Xbox and PlayStation. PlayStation has always been much more secretive and more surprise ridden.
I love
Like, you know,
that.
Xbox just comes right out and shows you its system right away.
I love being totally surprised.
Yeah, so I feel like having that console hype to see what's it gonna look like. You know,
Like
it's like a movie. It's exciting.
you don't want to wait, but the longer you wait,
Yeah.
the more excited you get.
And I feel like waiting 3 weeks to see it is not that bad.
No,
We can do that.
we've been waiting 2 months just to be able to go out. We could wait 3 weeks the
yeah.
PlayStation review.
Yeah, with all the games and all that. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yep. But in the meantime, we have Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima. We have some big titles coming out.
Finally, The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, long time coming on June 16th.
And still no word about Beyond Good and Evil 2.
I mean, hey, listen, this is a live podcast, like, right now, so how about we see if there's any news on Beyond Good and Evil 2? Probably delayed until 2032.
For those of you that don't know, they've been promising Beyond Good and Evil 2 for well over a decade.
This is fantastic. I typed in Beyond Good and Evil 2, and it linked to an IGN article called 18 Games That Seemingly Vanished.
That's appropriate.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 release date, what we know so far. So, yeah, nothing, really.
Yeah.
Ubisoft announced that it will be releasing 5 AAA games by early 2021, but confirmed Beyond Good and Evil 2 is not one of them. Oh, that's so sad.
I feel so terrible for that fanbase.
I know. I really do. I do.
I feel for them.
Yep.
I will be thrilled if that game ever comes out.
Yeah, we're not going to play it.
And I'm not going to play it.
Like, I feel like we should watch a walkthrough just to give it credit.
Yeah.
You know, listen, if you were a Last Guardian fan or Kingdom Hearts 3 fan, you know how long it is to have to wait for a game. So
Yeah.
I feel their pain.
But this is well over a decade.
It's a while, yeah. Yep, it's a while. Yeah, we'll see. And then, yeah, perfect. So, a lot of cool stuff going on. Let's close it out with, I want to go back to our little SpongeBob moment, because we always have like a SpongeBob minute. But it kind of hit me while we were doing this podcast that SpongeBob, we've always talked about, is like a symbol of positivity and joy. And what better movie to come out right after this thing is over than a movie that people can go see with their families?
Heck, yeah.
Like, SpongeBob is like, you've been cooped up for 2 months. Have 2 hours of infectious joy. And I know it might be a little too deep, but it really, like, it's a testament to, like, the character of coming out of a storm like this and laughing with someone that's been relevant for 20 years.
It's crazy.
You know?
That to us, SpongeBob is a massive part of it, our life, and he always will be. And the whole Bikini Bottom world will always be.
Yeah.
But just the idea of SpongeBob being that first thing to bring
or at least that
people
second,
out of this.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so cool.
Awesome.
I can picture people coming to Tom Kenny during conventions in the coming years and just saying, I was so depressed during this pandemic, but me and my kids went to see SpongeBob, and that really lifted us up.
Hey, I'll be one of them. Like, thank you for always being there. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy how a cartoon about a sea sponge and could be this big.
Yeah.
I don't think even Steven Hillenberg would have imagined SpongeBob getting this big.
No. And he was around to see the success.
21 years now?
21 years.
It's crazy.
21 years. It's nuts. And here's to another long run.
I mean, I still watch those classic episodes even today, and they still mean just as much to me today as they ever did.
Yeah, because you laugh, and we laugh a lot. But when you hear stories like people who say, I was going to commit suicide and SpongeBob literally saved my life,
like,
it's so big.
And I grew up going through a lot of physical challenges and tough times, and SpongeBob was one of the TV shows that no matter what was always there. And
Yep.
I could always go back to, I'm gonna spend an hour in Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, it's just great fun.
Like, it's crazy.
It's awesome. Well, guys, that'll do it for episode 9. We're glad to be able to bring you this podcast despite the circumstances.
I don't mean to cut in here,
No, go ahead.
but you mentioned to me about an idea earlier. Do we possibly want to achieve that?
Yeah, you go ahead. You do it. I will say that because I am completely honest. I don't remember what the idea was.
The Star Wars
Oh, yes.
bracket thing.
Yes. So yeah, my brother and I had the idea last night to do like a March Madness style bracket for Star Wars characters to see who would win, like Yoda versus Anakin or Darth Vader versus Darth Maul.
Yes.
But then you had the idea of kind of trying to do it live or at least post the results on here.
Yeah.
And kind of get the word out to the people.
Yeah.
Once we get this bracket online, go on Facebook and vote, and then we'll go off your votes.
But we just wanted to hear.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
And who knows? If everyone's on board, maybe we'll have an episode where we actually write out the actual bracket.
Yeah, we'll get Isaac here. We'll have him be here in person,
Yeah.
and that'll be a special. I think a much earlier episode. We could have it between 9 and 10.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. Look forward to that. That'll be great. Cool. So yeah, anything else, or I think we're good. Episode 9's in the can.
I think we're good.
Awesome. This in just 2 months we'll be celebrating 1 year of this thing.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I never could have imagined us being a year in. Almost.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Crazy.
It's nuts. All right, guys. Well, you have a great night. I'm Paul.
I am Steve.
And that concludes episode 9 of Audible Grown. We'll see you guys soon. See you later.
Peace.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and until next time, we hope you don't audibly groan.